Global NCAP has announced its second round of crash test results under the Safer Cars for India program. A total of 3 cars were crash tested, 2 of which were Hyundai and 1 Toyota. Let's first take a look at the cars from Hyundai. 2 Hyundai cars were tested for frontal offset impact, the i20 premium hatchback and the Creta compact SUV. Both cars scored 3 stars for adult occupant protection and child occupant protection respectively. And Hyundai continues to disappoint on the safety front when it comes to its best-selling offerings. The Hyundai i20 was tested in its most basic safety spec, equipped with 2 frontal airbags, ABS and seatbelt restraint for the driver and passenger. The car scored 8.84 points out of a maximum of 17 in adult occupant protection. The crash test results showed an unstable structure on the premium hatchback with a risk of the driver airbag not protecting the driver's head completely. It also showed weak protection to the driver's chest. The body shell was rated as unstable and not capable of withstanding further loadings. The footwell area was also rated as unstable in the crash test results.
The message from Hyundai when this car launched in India, and remember, this is the latest and most modern product in this segment right now, or at least that's the claim, was all about how this brings in everything that is cutting edge and new. We saw that with a lot of the equipment that's inside the car, especially on the infotainment side. But on safety then, has it really matched up to that expectation? That becomes a very crucial question in the aftermath of the result of this test.
With respect to child occupant protection, the new generation i20 scored 36.89 points out of a maximum of 49. Despite the car being equipped with Isofix mount anchor points, the test showed high deceleration for the 3-year-old dummy in the head during the crash. The car still comes with a lap belt for the rear center passenger as opposed to 3-point seat belts, while the absence of electronic stability control and no side head impact protection as standard further reduced the car's overall score.
First of all, we were expecting a similar structural performance as the global car, as they call it, or the global platform, anywhere else. Second, we were expecting a car with better safety equipment. For example, we were expecting a car with electronic stability control, for example, with side impact protection. For instance, other competitors like Honda in the new city, they do have the side airbags. So why not having side airbags, for example, in this car? No electronic stability control as well. The third aspect is probably more philosophical, it's not that technical, but we would have expected to have Hyundai putting more a position of leading the market in terms of safety, and not just with a new platform, with a more expensive car, just trying to stay in the middle of it and not in a way to make a step forward and lead the market towards how safety should be in this kind of vehicles.
Moving on to the Creta. The Hyundai Creta performed even poorly when it came to the Global NCAP crash test results, with the SUV scoring only 8 points out of a maximum of 17 in adult occupant protection and 28.29 points out of 49 in child occupant protection. Tested in its most basic variant, the Creta recorded an unstable structure with the risk of injuring the driver's lower legs and feet. The segment's best-selling compact SUV also lacked Isofix anchor mounts and 3-point seat belts for all seating positions. This reduced the car's score as far as child occupant safety protection is concerned. The i20 competes against the Tata Altroz and Honda Jazz, with both these cars scoring well in the Global NCAP Crash Test very recently. The new generation Maruti Suzuki Baleno is yet to be tested by Global NCAP. The Hyundai Creta wasn't too far off in the safety front from its Korean sibling. Kia Seltos was tested in 2020 and scored a 3-star safety rating for adult occupant protection and an even lower 2-star rating for child occupant protection. The Creta fares better on the latter. Both the i20 and the Creta are leaders in their respective segments as far as sales volumes are concerned. Both cars score highly when it comes to features and powertrain options, but have an alarmingly low score when it comes to safety standards. Now let's move on to the urban cruiser. Global NCAP has tested the Toyota Urban Cruiser for the frontal offset crash test at 64 km per hour, and the subcompact SUV has bagged a respectable 4-star rating for adult occupant protection, with 13.52 points out of 17, while it achieved 3 stars for child occupant safety with 36.68 points out of 49. But clearly, the Toyota Urban Cruiser has scored better than the Vitara Brezza when it comes to child safety. The Toyota scored a 3-star safety rating as opposed to only 2 stars on the Vitara Brezza. We expected more from Toyota on safety, and it certainly has delivered. Given that it's a Toyota, we expected it to make some changes to the car, but clearly the points tell a different story. The body shell of the car was rated as stable. The base trim of the Toyota Urban Cruiser that underwent testing tipped the scales at 1,324 kilograms. It was equipped with standard features like dual airbags, front seat belt pretensioners, Isofix child seat anchorage, and 4-channel anti-lock braking system. However, the SUV has been crash tested only for frontal offset, and it's yet to be tested for side impact. The Urban Cruiser has been a strong seller for Toyota, but we expected a higher rating from the subcompact SUV. More made in India cars will be crash tested soon. So stay tuned for all the updates at Car and Bike.